Welcome into Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you starting out your week with us. We are presented by Manscaped. You can save 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com with the promo code Seahawks at checkout. We'll tell you more about what Manscaped is offering coming up later on in the show. Today, we have the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors for you, and I got to tell you, they're a little spicy today. So let's go ahead and wait now a second more and get to the first rumor today. Starts with running back Rashaad Penny, as Bleacher Report has suggested that the Seahawks should cut Rashaad Penny. Bear with me here. Let's listen to what Bleacher Report had to say about this one. Moving on from Penny is more symbolic than a financial move. Franchise has dealt with continued health concerns from Penny and watched Chris Carson retire after 5 seasons due to injuries. Even Walker just suffered a hernia injury that has his immediate availability in doubt. The Seahawks would save only $560,000 by releasing him, but they could open more playing time for Walker, Dallas, and Homer. Penny's frequent injury issues make it impossible for Seattle to rely on him long term. So, here's the situation with Penny. He is currently on a 1-year deal valued at $5.7 million. He missed the first 2 preseason games with a groin strain. And as mentioned, $560,000 is what they could save. Not a whole lot of money, but nonetheless, that's what they'd be looking at if they moved on from Penny. Now, I don't see this happening. I don't see any benefit over moving on from Rashaad Penny over saving $500,000. To me, that just doesn't add up, doesn't make any sense. Even if these issues linger on for Rashaad Penny, if anything, you play him when he's there. You already are going to have to pay him most of his money anyway. To me, this just does not add up. And I know that the Seahawks have been very pleased with what they have seen from DJ Dallas and Travis Homer, but that just provides depth. That gives you more options to work with. You look at the numbers for Rashaad Penny last year. This is why the Seahawks are invested into Rashaad Penny, based on what he did to finish off 2021. The final 5 games with 92 carries, 671 yards, an average of over 7 yards a carry and 6 touchdowns. The Seahawks are hoping that they can see that version of Rashaad Penny again like they did at the end of last year. So that's why, for me, it doesn't make any sense. You roll with Rashaad Penny, even if he has these injury issues. You've paid him this money for this year. At least see what you have with him this year. And then if it doesn't work out, then you move on from him next year. But to me, that one just does not quite add up. Sure, the Seahawks have made some moves already. They've already trimmed down their roster before tomorrow's deadline. But cutting Penny, that one, no thanks. What about you guys? Should the Seahawks really cut Rashaad Penny? No thanks. But you go ahead and be the GM now. Let me know in the comment section. Type Y for yes, type in for no. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. And tell us in the comment section. Y for yes, in for no, if the Seahawks should cut Rashaad Penny. Let's talk injuries now, beginning with wide receiver Dee Eskridge. The Seahawks get good news this weekend that he has returned for the last week of the preseason after a hamstring injury. So very positive to see that he's back around. Here's what Pete Carroll had to say. We finally got him on the practice field. He got hurt in the first 10 minutes of practice the first day. So it's the first time we've got to see him. He worked really hard to get out there, and we tried to ensure that once he's out, he stays out. Every day he's on the practice field will be the next day to see how he recovers from it. But that was good work, and he looked really explosive today. That's just the way he's always shows it. Somebody said, we got 3 weeks to get this knocked out. Let's see if he can contribute. Now, Eskridge was terrific this offseason. In OTAs and in minicamp, he was one of the breakout stars. And last year, he only had 10 catches. He wasn't somebody that they could count on. And with Dee Eskridge, it's twofold, right? You're asking if he can be reliable. If not only could he potentially compete to be the number 3 receiver there with Freddie Swain and Marquise Goodwin and those guys, but also can he be healthy? Can they count on him? Because he just has not been there throughout his tenure in Seattle at this point, that he has not been somebody to this point that they can count on. So it's twofold. Not only is the talent level good enough to be your number 3 guy, but also can you depend on him to stay healthy? Those are two different questions that need to be answered, essentially, when it comes to Dee Eskridge in his future. So, with that said, prediction time. Dee Eskridge will not play all 17 games this year. I would be shocked if he plays all 17. This is a long season. I'm not knocking on him, but here's the deal. It's asking a lot, I think, for a guy that just hasn't been there at this point. 17 games, whether he misses 1 game or 2 or misses quite a few, I don't see that happening. I don't think the Seahawks, that's why, for me, I don't see him being the number 3 receiver because they can't count on him. So, our true-false question today, Dee Eskridge will not play all 17 games. Type T for true, type F for false. Let me know how you feel one way or the other. T for true, F for false on Dee Eskridge will not play all 17 games. Today's show is presented by Manscaped. Look, fantasy football is just around the corner. Everybody getting their drafts in, and I got to tell you, now's the perfect time to be drafting Manscaped to protect your balls, folks. Look, the performance package right now is on sale for $95.99 when you use the promo code Seahawks at checkout. 20% off plus free shipping. It is quite the deal that we are offering right now at manscaped.com with the promo code Seahawks. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity while supplies last to get your hands on this performance package. Join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped to get ready for kickoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with code Seahawks at checkout. All right, a couple more injuries that I want to get to. Let's look at Damien Lewis now. Lewis suffered a lateral ankle sprain in Thursday's preseason game against the Bears, was carted off the field. It was a pretty ugly scene, and it looks like that he will not be back for the Seahawks preseason game on Friday against the Cowboys, but the team remains hopeful that he'll return in time for the opener against the Denver Broncos. Here is what Pete Carroll had to say. Only that it is a kind of basketball ankle sprain, so that is a really positive thing. It's the swelling that he has to deal with. There are no torn ligaments or any of that stuff, so it doesn't mean that he isn't immediately popping back, but it's not going to be a long time. It's not like a high ankle sprain that lingers forever. So Pete Carroll with some good news, a basketball ankle sprain. So kind of downplaying this situation for Damien Lewis where things stand right now. So with that, here is a look at the offensive line depth chart for the Seahawks right now, and you can see Lewis there starting at the left guard spot, and if he doesn't give it a go, there's not an obvious choice here to fill the void at that left guard spot of what the Seahawks could do. We've seen the Seahawks try different things when it comes to the 2s and the 3s at the offensive line, but it's not clear as day of who necessarily would fit in that role for Seattle if Damien Lewis is going to be out for an extended amount of time. So we'll see. Good chance to experiment and maybe have something set in stone based on what they see in Friday's preseason game with Lewis likely out. What's your level of concern with Damien Lewis's injury? I got to tell you, when I saw him carted off, it was pretty high. But seeing how things have progressed since then, it seems like things are on the right direction. I wouldn't go very high on this. It'd be lower for me, but I'm curious how you guys feel, what your level of concern is for Damien Lewis on this injury front. Seahawks Today is covering this team each and every day, not only with the daily news and rumors, but also we're doing watch parties every game, live shows, and breaking news. You got to turn on your notifications so you never miss a moment, including our weekly show that we're doing on Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. It's Seahawks Today live with yours truly, answering your questions, having a great time. You guys are the absolute best. We do this for you. It's a fun, interactive way to get involved and tell us what's on your mind. So don't miss out. Seahawks Today live here on the channel And I got to tell you, it's been a pleasure doing that show and being a part of this channel. We got more stuff down the line. We just reached 28,000 subscribers on the channel. And what a milestone that is. We are trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. And a while back, somebody asked me, they said, Tyler, when we get to 30,000 subscribers, will you do a Gatorade bath? And I said, yeah, of course I'll do a Gatorade bath. But we got to get there first. We're making progress, but still got a ways to go to get to 30,000. One milestone down, another one to go. Let's get to 30,000. Like today's video if you think I should do a Gatorade bath when we get to 30,000 subs here on the channel. All right, another injury note before we go. Let's talk about Boye Mafe as the update from him at practice on Sunday. Did not participate, suffered a shoulder injury in the game on Thursday. And here's what Pete Carroll had to say in regards to Mafe. He said he's got a shoulder strain. We've got to see what happens with him this week. I don't think he'll make it back this week, but he's not damaged, and he'll be okay. So the Seahawks injury front seems like everything's pretty manageable is how I describe this situation. Could be a lot worse for these things that happen on Thursday in a preseason game against the Bears. Appreciate you joining us here on Seahawks Today. We will see you again tomorrow. Give me a follow on Twitter at Tyler Jones Live, and have a great rest of your day.